Welcome back in. Welcome back in. It's your boy Mike coming back at y'all, man. NFC Conference Championship game time as we prepare to host the Dallas Cowboys, coming off of a dominant shutout performance against the Rams, sending them home in the divisional round to complete the 3-game sweep of them on the season. But the road doesn't get anything but tougher as we are now faced with a very, very high-powered Cowboys team who's going to be looking for some revenge after we knocked them out of the playoffs in last year's divisional match on our way to a Super Bowl. And definitely excited to see the results from those other side of the bracket divisional round games. Had two matchups that looked like they'd be pretty good. And you see, first things first, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were the most dominant team in the regular season along with us, getting manhandled by the Patriots, a Patriots team that they beat in Week 18. And Mac Jones, 307 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Kenny Pickett, 73 yards, 10 of 27 completions. Just not the type of game you expected to see from this Pittsburgh team, allowing 30 to New England, but then on top of that, only scoring 10 of their own. Dustin Thurston leading the way for New England, 12 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. Elijah Moore there with 65. You see Juju, 3 for 54. George Pickens, the leader in yards for Pittsburgh, just 28 yards on 3 catches. Minka and Jimmy Ward leading the way with 8 tackles apiece. Christian Barmore, that is, leading the way with 2 sacks. Bobby Wagner catching an interception. Didn't matter ultimately. And the Patriots have now knocked off the 2-seed Jets and the 1-seed Steelers. And on the other side, you see the Raiders, who take on Cleveland and have won yet again. This is the worst team by record in the AFC playoffs, but after taking a 14-7 first quarter lead, tie ball game at halftime, they get it done in the second half, 24-21, despite no touchdowns or interceptions from Travis Garner and Deshaun Watson having a pretty good day. Josh Jacobs, 19 for 126 and 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb also getting 111 yards. Rookie Jeremiah Byers getting into the end zone for Las Vegas as well. Devontae Adams going 9 for 119. You see Mark Taylor and Amari Cooper each getting a touchdown pass from Deshaun Watson, as well as receiver David Bell. 3 touchdown passes from Deshaun Watson, not enough. JOK, 11 tackles, leading the way. Baron Browning and Jelani Tavai each getting a sack. No interceptions to speak of. Max Crosby forcing the only fumble and recovering it himself, which means it will be the Raiders hosting the Patriots in the championship game for the AFC. And back on our side, you see the Cowboys taking down Philly 35-23. It was a 14-7 game at the half. Philly pulled a little bit closer. Looks like either 3 field goals or maybe a safety there in the third quarter with 9 points. But Dallas ultimately overcoming to take us on this week. Dak, 294 and 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, 231 and 2 scores. You see Tony Pollard there, 76 yards. Rookie Shannon Trailer getting into the end zone. Deuce Vaughn finding the end zone twice. Now, I presume that means DeAndre Swift missed that game. Devontae Smith, 5 for 101 and 2 TDs. CD continuing his excellent postseason, 8 for 91 and a score. Rookie Conrad Craig getting in there, 9 for 79 and a score. And Deuce Vaughn also catching a touchdown. So doing a little bit of everything, probably more touchdowns than he scored the entire season, as Jordan Davis, 2 tackles for loss to lead the way. And yes, it was a safety forced by Jordan Davis. And of course, you know that means we'll be hosting Dallas this week. Should be a really fun matchup. Not as intrigued with the AFC side, but as far as predictions go, I'm taking us all the way. This is a team that we're very familiar with, a team that we've beaten on a handful of occasions in the past, and our team has only improved. Over on the AFC side, looking at the rosters, I do just think that New England, even though they're not as top-heavy as the Raiders are, and they are top-heavy, I think that the overall depth that New England has on the roster across all positions is going to end up superseding the Raiders, just top skill guys. But taking a look at some of these heavy hitters for Dallas, Dak Prescott leading the way, 10th year veteran now at this point, 32 years old, and his accuracy is still some of the sharpest in the league. I mean, look at that, 90 playing up to 99 short, 97 medium, 92 deep, 90s or better across the board, and still has some speed in the tank, 85 speed. And let's not forget, Dak is a big-bodied quarterback as well, so not going to be afraid to dip his shoulder in and take some hits. And he's also going to have the benefit of throwing to CD Lamb, who led the league in both catches and yards, only had 9 touchdowns, but when you're contributing over 1,500 yards as a receiver and over 100 catches, man, you can live without a whole bunch of touchdowns. And of course, CD, man, just a smooth route runner, super elusive, super shifty with the ball. Definitely going to be looking to see the battle between him and Andrew Stinson today, or whoever he may line up across from. And they're also going to have the services of Tony Pollard in the backfield now in his 7th season, getting up there in age for a running back, 28 years old, 93 overall. And I mean, he's speedy, 93 speed, 96 acceleration. You see the juke move there, the carrying, so he's not going to really put the ball on the ground. He's able to get in and around defenders. Not going to be a guy that's going to go through heavy contact, but also going to be a threat out of the backfield. So someone to keep an eye on. And Conrad Gregg got to go ahead and show some love here. The big-bodied rookie, 6'4", 22 years old, out of Iowa State. And I mean, he just really has it all. He's fast, 85 speed. He has really good hands. Run blocking is in the 70s. Well, it is 70, playing up to a 70 anyway. So also a threat to, kind of block in line on that aspect. And, with all those other weapons around him, certainly someone that we can't afford to lose track of. Now, moving on to the defense, Micah Parsons, 99 overall, still just 26 years old, but a veteran at this point. And, man, you want to talk about one of the most dominant edge rushers to ever step on the field. Micah Parsons is that. He can beat you in any way you want. Do you want him to swim around you? Do you want him to use a power moves? He can use a rip through, bull rush, all of those kinds of things. And he has elite speed. I mean, for any player in the NFL, 93 speed, 97 acceleration, someone that we're going to have to keep an eye on every single play of the game. And he's going to be aided in the secondary by Trayvon Diggs, 92 overall, 27 years old, just 1 year older than Micah. And similarly, very, very good speed there at 95. We know he's a former receiver, so his catching is much higher than you would typically expect from a corner at 88. 95 jumping, and already with his good size, it really just helps him stand out even more. Now, definitely more of a zone corner than a man corner, but do not be fooled by the low coverage rating. He is one of the elites. And joining Micah Parsons' his bookend, DeMarcus Lawrence, certainly getting up there in age. This is going to be one of their better opportunities to still try to get him a ring. And he's kind of the old man of the group, the wise old man. He can set the edge with the best of them, one of the best edge setting pass rushers in the league, and he still has a very good arsenal of pass rush moves up his in his belt. LVE, middle linebacker, 29 years old, the Wolf Hunter. Of course, in real life, I'm a Cowboys fan, so it was sad to see him suffer that injury. He's had some issues with his neck dating back to Boise State, but 86 speed, 91 acceleration, and 84 block shed as well. Going to be a monster in the run game. Maybe not the most elite coverage backer, but when you have someone with sideline to sideline range like this, you can't complain. And one more guy we wanted to take a look at, rookie cornerback Christopher Bronson. Of course, we have our own rookie corner in Amani Harris. We're very, very happy with that. Bronson, just 21 years old, and he is going to have his hands full as this team's number 2 corner. Going to be matched up against either Rashad Bateman, Rondale Moore, even Chase Claypool. At this point in his career, he's a veteran. He's been part of the system. He knows where he needs to be, at any given time. during these plays that we have built up here in Arizona. So I think it'll be a really fun battle against that Dallas defense. Their offense as well, as you see Rashad Bateman playing up to a 97 overall, just continuing to get better and better, pushing up closer and closer into that top 10 ranking, and hopefully we'll see even more improvement from him as the years go on. Lewis Seen now officially an 85 overall, +2 zone coverage, and gonna get a new ability added as well. More on that later. Keegan Buchanan, 80 overall, still rocking and rolling, our #1 overall pick from our very first offseason. Continuing to get better as well. And, we're hoping that he's continued to use those tackle skills because he may be called upon later down the line. Not this season, but, in the future. And then Denario Stewart, man, had an interception in week 18 against the Seahawks, continuing to improve his rookie year. Really excited about what he's going to bring to the table this game. And it is time, man. Conference championship time. You see the Cowboys, man, celebrating. We got them in their throwback helmets. We really like the, those striped helmets, the red, white, and blue. Glenn Roberts and Dak Prescott meeting for the very first time, as a matter of fact, because, of course, Josh Dobbs played and started that divisional round matchup a season ago. But now it is Glenn Roberts' time to show that he belongs. Had a fantastic playoff debut. The road gets tougher, but we need him to keep that same confidence and poise that he's shown over the last, quarter or so of the season. And then also that playoff game. This is not a divisional matchup, and the only non-divisional opponent we've faced since the bye week is Tampa Bay, who, of course, we handled. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this Cowboys roster. Dak Prescott leading the way at quarterback. Tony Pollard, the running back. Deuce Vaughn in there as well. We saw him come off 3 touchdowns a week ago. Andy Janovich at fullback. Receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and the rookie Shamir Allen down there as well. CeeDee Lamb going to be the best receiver we've faced in quite a while, 99 overall. Certainly over the last few weeks, someone that we're going to need to keep quiet if we want to hold this Cowboys offense down in any kind of similar fashion to the way we did the Rams last week. Conrad Gregg at tight end, Luke Schoonmaker in there, former second-round pick, Jake Ferguson there as the third option. Left tackle, Charles Leno, 12th year vet, still chugging along. Tyler Smith at left guard, Tyler Biadasz at center. Right guard, you got Zach Martin. Right tackle, you got Terrence Steele to bookend that offensive line. DeMarcus Lawrence at left end, Micah Parsons at right end. Of course, we spoke about him. Going to be so dynamic today. Mozzie Smith at defensive tackle along with Kyrus Tonga. Left outside linebacker, you got Terrell Perkins. Unlikely to see the field a whole lot. You got LVE at middle linebacker with rookie Cedric Flowers and DeMarvion Overshone as well. And then Damone Clark at right outside linebacker. Likely going to see him and Van Der Esch be those two main guys in the middle. Trayvon Diggs, Christopher Bronson, and Deron Bland, the top 3 corners. Bland, of course, a nose for the football in his own right, though not reflected in his rating here since we started it, at the beginning of the season. Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson, the safety tandem, with Eddie Pinheiro at kicker and Matt Araiza, the punter. We are underway here. Conference championship time. Antonio Gibson gonna field the return, and he is gonna take it out, and he is gonna get it down there to about right at where he would have gotten if he had gone ahead and called the fair catch. And Glenn Roberts and this offense are ready to get rocking and rolling. Roberts, 4,439 yards, 50 touchdowns, 29 picks. Of course, as we know, last week going over 300 yards and playing a very clean game all around. And now time to take the next step against Dallas, starting out under center. Ty Davis-Price in the backfield alongside him, and Davis-Price going to get the first touch of the ball game, trying to get the edge on DeMarcus Lawrence. Going to be able to get just a few before being forced out of bounds. Just going to be a gain of 2 there. Now third, exactly. 2nd and 8. Roberts going to keep it himself on the read option, but going to be snuffed out that time by the Wolf Hunter, Leighton Van Der Esch, for a loss of 1. Now a 3rd and 9 and already an early 3rd and long. Dumps it short to Rashad Bateman. Tries to make a move, but Van Der Esch with a sure-handed tackle stops him short, and head coach Mike White is going to keep his guys out there. Last thing you want is to give the ball to the team in such good position so early in the game. But, man, it's the conference championship game. We believe we can get a yard. Handoff, Ty Davis-Price. He does just that. Plus a little bit more, a gain of 5 there, setting up a fresh set of downs. Really good conversion, really scary territory to go ahead and go after that. But it works out in their favor this time around. Roberts now going to connect with Rondale Moore across the middle of the field and across midfield as well, setting up a new set of downs, 1st and 10. Here's Roberts looking quickly. Antonio Gibson, good spin move. Malik Hooker didn't know where to go, and he's going to be brought down by Damone Clark. Now 2nd and 1. Davis-Price checked back into the ball game. I'm going to bring Trey McBride across the formation. Looks like they're trying to set something up on that side, and they do. Ty Davis-Price able to get his way forward for a gain of about 6 to the 34-yard line. Now setting up play action. Rollout. Roberts looking, trying to squeeze it in there for Rashad Bateman, but Damone Clark all over it, not letting that one go by. It'll lead now to a 2nd and 10. Handoff, Ty Davis-Price. Davis-Price making a move and able to get his way to the edge for a gain of 3 before being forced to the ground. Now 3rd and 7. Already their 2nd 3rd down they've had to face so far in this drive, and he's going to have Rondale Moore left side, beats DeMarcus Lawrence, jukes a couple more Cowboys out of their shoes, and Rondale Moore with a nice 23-yard gain there on the left side. 1st and goal now from the 7-yard line, and they're taking plenty of time here on their opening possession. Gonna get the quick bubble screen to Rondale Moore, who's gonna make a man miss and dive his way into the end zone for the opening touchdown here of this conference championship game. Really, really good drive there, all things considered. Could have ended early on that 4th down attempt. Instead, they do convert. Trayvon Diggs not able to make the tackle, and the Cardinals strike first. It's 7-0. Now here we are, Dak Prescott ready to lead this Cowboys offense onto the field. And Dak had a fantastic year, led the league in passing, 4,989 yards, so close to 5,000. 49 touchdowns, so close to 50, and just 8 interceptions as they're going to start things off with a stretch give to Tony Pollard. Pollard makes a move. Pollard gets some blocks, make another move, and Tony Pollard, first carry of the game, first touch of the game for the Cowboys, going to get a gain of 19 down to the 44, and they're going to hand it off to him again, trying to see if they can channel that magic once more. They don't. Instead, going to be a gain of just 2 here before Pollard is forced to the ground. And now 2nd and 8. Dak looking right side for Michael Gallup, connects with him, but going to be brought down by Jalen Johnson shy of the sticks. It'll be a 3rd and 2 now. As Dak under center, gonna hand off. No, he's gonna fake it, but Lewis Seen gets in there, was initially fooled, it seemed. Dak tried to roll out, create some time, but Lewis Seen all over it, putting an end to that drive, forcing a Cowboys punt. Now 1st and 10. Quick throw to Rashad Bateman, who gets around the edge and powers forward for the 1st down before he's knocked out of bounds. His first catch here of the conference championship. Now here we go, 1st and 10. Roberts once again looking right sideline, has Trey McBride. Donovan Wilson can't keep up with him this time around, and he is going to have a nice connection there to Trey McBride to set up a 1st and 10 at the Cowboys 33. Handoff, Davis-Price not going to be able to make a move. Going to be hit down there by Deron Bland. Really strong tackle there. Could have gone to led to a lot more if he wasn't able to get that one, but not going to be able to connect this time with Rashad Bateman. Just overthrows him. Injury to Mozzie Smith, and it'll be 3rd and 7 now. Here's Roberts looking left side, has Rondale Moore again, who's given Deron Bland already plenty of trouble there in the slot. And Rondale Moore already 4 catches for 53 yards as we head into the second quarter, with Dallas just 23 yards of total offense so far. Granted, they've only had the ball for 1 possession, but that's what it's about, man. Limiting possessions of very, very high-powered offenses is one way to make sure that you don't end up in a shootout or in a position where you need to make something happen. As here it is now, 2nd and 5. Roberts, handoff, Ty Davis-Price going up the middle and able to power forward, surges for the first at the 9-yard line now, 1st and goal. And here's Roberts in the shotgun, looking for the bubble screen once again, but Trayvon Diggs not going to be juked out of his shoes for the second straight possession. Really good tackle there from Diggs. Handoff, Antonio Gibson right up the gut, and it's going to be another Cardinals touchdown. Antonio Gibson had 2 touchdowns last week against the Rams, has another one here, giving the Cardinals a 2-possession lead. And the middle of that defensive line just opened right up, or that defensive front, I should say, opening right up. 14-0 Arizona. Dallas still looking to respond, and they're going to start with a handoff to Tony Pollard. Goes nowhere. Lewis Seen in there to drop him for a loss of 2. Now 2nd and 12, going to a 2 tight end look, trying to find Michael Gallup, but overshoots him. He had Jalen Johnson beat. Now they're going to have to contend with a long 3rd down, and they're going to set the screen up for Tony Pollard, who's not going to get away from Jalen Thompson. Wrapped up after a gain of 2. Arizona, after a good return from Antonio Gibson, set up at their own 42, handoff to Ty Davis-Price, who has some space on the left side, jukes back inside, going to be brought down there by DeMarcus Lawrence, but that's a 23-yard carry from Ty Davis-Price already on Dallas' side of the field, looking for their 3rd touchdown in a row to start the game. Has Trey McBride across the middle down to the 20 and into the red zone. Roberts in that empty look, looking to get one in there to chase Claypool, but good hand up there from LVE. Not going to allow that pass this time around. 2nd and 10, Roberts, handoff, Antonio Gibson, and Gibson has some blocks. Could have maybe gotten some more there. Wasn't able to follow his blocks as well as he could have. Has a gain of 6, though. Ty Davis-Price back into the game. 3rd and 4. Quick throw here to chase Claypool, who's leveled by Leighton Vander Esch, but nothing to complain about on our end. Really good things all around. 1st and goal here. Glenn Roberts in that empty look once again, trying to go quickly outside. Rashad Bateman beating Trayvon Diggs, and he is into the end zone for the Cardinals touchdown. And this Cowboys team that looked so threatening before the game hasn't gotten anything going on offense, and their defense has not allowed one single stop. It's looking like the Cowboys game from a year ago that saw us take a huge lead early. Dallas did fight back and make things interesting, but up 21-0, and with the way their offense has looked, certainly going to have to make something happen soon, as he has Michael Gallup on the quick slant from the right side. Gain of 8 there, now 2nd and 2. Dak flipping the play around. Tony Pollard still in the backfield. Dak scrambling around, going to be hit by BJ Ojulari. Ball's out, but not able to be recovered by Arizona. BJ Ojulari, also someone coming alive for this playoff run. Had a sack against the Rams last week, now bringing down Dak Prescott early to force a long 3rd down. And after a 3rd and 12 last possession, they're now facing a 3rd and 13 this time around. Here's Dak trying to scramble, looking left, going, throwing towards CeeDee Lamb, and Zaven Collins is all over it. Zaven Collins, who only had 1 interception all year, coming at the very tail end of the Seahawks game, gets one here against Dak. You see, he was in that mid-read, was following Conrad Gregg, realized that Dak had to get the ball away, came back for the football towards CeeDee Lamb, and he returns it back to about the 28-yard line there, 38-yard line, as 1st and 20. Yeah, it was a 28. After a holding call, it's 1st and 20, and Glenn Roberts intercepted, trying to find Rashad Bateman. Thought Malik Hooker might have ended ended. What am I doing? I'm losing my words. Thought Malik Hooker may have bailed on following him for the rest of that route. He does not, and he gets it right back for Dallas, who with any kind of points given up there you would have thought been in desperation mode. Instead, Dallas now just under 3 minutes to go in the half has an opportunity to get some points on the board. Dak just 19 passing yards on the half so far. 2nd and 7. He's going to get that and then a little bit more with this throw to CeeDee Lamb, connecting with him for 18 yards as that's CeeDee's first catch of the ball game. 2-minute warning now. Dallas, 45 yards between them and pay dirt. Has CeeDee. No, CeeDee drops it. Heard the footsteps of Andrew Stinson and not the situation where you can afford a drop there. 2nd and 10 now. Trips look to the right, and here's Dak going across the middle looking for Conrad Gregg and finds him through the coverage of Jalen Thompson. Now 1st and 10, 1:30 to go. Dallas electing to hold on to all of those timeouts. Tried to find a man that time looking for Shamir Allen. Will not find him. Ball knocked away by Amani Harris. Now 2nd and 10. Dak under center, looking left side, has CeeDee Lamb, but he's going to be forced to stay in bounds. But an injury timeout to Tyler Biadasz will force them to use a timeout. Now 3rd and 6. Dallas needs to convert here. Dak looking, has a man. No, Lewis Cine was back there for another sack, but overran it. And then Andrew Stinson just gets to CeeDee a little too early. Automatic first down on the defensive pass interference at the 16-yard line. Dallas flipping the play around. Dak looking, has a man wide open. Michael Gallup, Cowboys. Touchdown, Dallas. And they are looking to fight back here before halftime. Not sure what happened in the secondary that time around. No one even close to the territory of Michael Gallup. He has the Dallas Cowboys' first touchdown of the game. They're within 14. Arizona, though, 1:12 to go and still 3 timeouts to work with. Roberts setting up the screen for Ty Davis-Price, who's going to make a move, makes another move. Trayvon Diggs not having a great time defending against the shiftiness of these Cardinals skill position players. Now 1st and 10 from the 42, still 1:02 to go after the timeout used by Arizona, bringing Rashad Bateman outside. Here's Roberts looking up, stepping up, finding Rondale Moore, and another juke for against Trayvon Diggs. Rondale Moore having an absolute show out there in the open field. What a connection there from Roberts. Stood tall, stepped up, hit him across the middle of the field through the coverage of Bland, and then making a few Cowboys players miss before he's able to get out of bounds, stopping that clock. And they've used just 18 seconds driving down to Dallas's 21, as here's Roberts trying to air one deep for Rondale. In coverage was Christopher Bronson, not able to connect with him that time. Now 2nd and 10. Both running backs in the game on this play. He's going to have a man short, Rondale Moore once again, and Moore is going to get out of bounds. Glenn Roberts, 15 of 20 for 220, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And Rondale Moore at 7 catches already on the day, as here's Roberts going to take it up the middle himself on the scramble. Oh, man, that was rough to witness. Didn't know if Roberts may lose control of the ball close to the goal line. He doesn't. Mozzie Smith, the Cowboys defensive tackle, ultimately giving him that last shove he needed to get across the goal line. And what a drive for Arizona as they put up another touchdown. It's 28-7, but Dallas does still have 2 timeouts and 38 seconds to work with, as Dak looking left side has Michael Gallup, who's going to be forced to stay in bounds, and Dallas forced to use a timeout. Nothing happening on 2nd and 2, leading now to a 3rd and 2. Dak looking right side has Shamir Allen outside, gonna have him out of bounds there at the 37-yard line. 25 seconds to go. Dak right side looking for Gallup. Ball knocked out. Jalen Johnson in coverage. Now 23 seconds to go. Dallas still just 1 timeout remaining. Dak airing one deep for CeeDee Lamb, who outruns Andrew Stinson down to the 23-yard line. That is a 39-yard connection from Dak to CD. They're going to elect to go ahead and use that timeout to get the field goal team out there. And the kick is up and good. Dallas getting a field goal on the board to make it an 18-point game, 28-10 heading into the half. Dallas started to come alive a bit over their last few possessions there in the first half. And we're currently leading pretty comfortably. Raiders and Patriots there on the other side. Really interesting. Intrigued to see who's going to come out of that one on top. But Arizona really doing all they want to on offense. Dallas, outside of that one interception, has yet to make even a single stop, stopping Arizona from getting into the end zone. But they'll look to make it a more positive second half as they get the ball out of it, starting with a bunch look left as Dak, here he is, trying to fit one in there to Michael Gallup, but really bad timing to throw that there. 4 Cardinals in coverage, 2nd and 10. Dak looking right side again and has Conrad Gregg, who breaks off one tackle, and Jalen Thompson, fortunately able to get there to bring him down. Was really worried that no Thompson stop there meant 6. Instead, he's going to be content with his long gain after breaking away there from Lewis Cine, and Dallas in Arizona territory already at the 38-yard line after the huge play from Gregg. Flipping the play around, Dak dropping back, looking outside again, has Michael Gallup, and once again, Dallas, this time a 22-yard play to Michael Gallup down to the 13-yard line, and looks like the same formation that they just ran on the last play, but it's not going to be the same route as Michael Gallup. Back-to-back plays, beating Jalen Johnson, this time for a touchdown, and it's his 2nd of the day. Johnson never had the positioning that he needed, gives it up. Dallas now with 17 points. As you see, Rondale Moore, 7 for 106 and a score in that first half. Really giving it to Deron Bland there, who's been mainly covering him out of the slot. 1st and 10. Cardinals looking to answer back with a touchdown of their own. Roberts is going to start it out with a throw left side to Rashad Bateman, and Bronson had great coverage there. Unfortunately, did not work out in his favor this time around. But the first down nonetheless for Rashad Bateman, as here's Ty Davis-Price cutting the run outside, back inside, and outside again, and has it down to the 41-yard line, a 19-yard carry for Ty Davis-Price. Roberts now in the shotgun, has 2 receivers each side. Davis-Price still in the backfield alongside him. He's going to change the play up, going to look quickly for Rashad Bateman left side. He's going to be hit down there, stumbled by Damone Clark, but ultimately forced out of bounds. First down in the red zone now at the 19, going to a trips tight end, or a 3 tight end look rather, bringing Darnell Washington across, handing off to Ty Davis-Price, but once again going to be swallowed up after a gain of just 1. 2nd and 9, play action rollout. Roberts has a man wide open. Elijah Higgins had his man on skates there on the whip route, has him down to the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. And if you're Dallas, the last thing you can afford is a touchdown on this drive, and they're going to start off strong with forcing Ty Davis-Price down at the 3-yard line, now 2nd and goal. Here's Roberts, pressure in his face, trying to get it there for Rondale Moore, but not going to be able to make it happen. And so 3rd and goal. Dallas just needs to stand tall here. Ty Davis-Price, a mean stiff arm to LVE, and then powers into the end zone for the touchdown. Arizona responds, and Dallas still just once over Arizona's 6 possessions have they been able to stop them from getting anything other than a touchdown. And just look at this replay. Ty Davis-Price hits the hole. Mean elbow there for Van Der Esch, and Ty Davis-Price into the end zone. Arizona back up on top by 18. Here's Dallas now looking for Tony Pollard. Cam Wilhelm thought he might have been able to get a shot on that. Wasn't able to. Instead, going to hit Tony Pollard for a gain of 17. Now Dak in the zone under center. Dak rolling left, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Doesn't, scrambles out, slides down after a gain of 4. It'll be a 2nd and 6 now at their own 46-yard line. 3 receivers right. Dak looking wide open. Greg, and Dak misses him. Greg would have surely had a walk-in touchdown if Dak was able to connect with him. He's not on that occasion. It'll be a 3rd and 6 now. And here he is looking for CeeDee Lamb and connects with him, beating Andrew Stinson in the tight man coverage. 1st and 10 now. Dak under center. You see the fullback now in the game looking for CD once again and connects with him again, this time for 18. They're down to the 24-yard line. Empty look. Dak Prescott all alone in the back trying to go short for Shamir Allen. Does get him that time. Holds on through the contact. Gain of 3. And we've seen this route concept from Dallas so many times. Beats them again. Jalen Johnson just has not been able to contend with Michael Gallup much today. 7 catches, 87 yards. And of course the 2 touchdowns, although we won't blame him for that first Gallup touchdown, as Dak just going to throw this one out of the back of the end zone. Had pressure coming. 2nd and goal now. 9 yards between them and pay dirt. Dak gonna look left side, trying to get it over top for CeeDee Lamb, who skies for it, gets his feet down, and is into the end zone for the Cowboys touchdown. What a throw from Dak. You had Cam Wilhelm and Andrew Stinson that he needed to loft it over. He does. CD does the rest. Dallas now within 11 once again, and they're going to start the next drive off with a handoff to Ty Davis-Price, who's going to find 9 yards where didn't seem like there would have been that many available to him. Now 2nd and 1. Cardinals going to continue to hand off to Davis-Price, but he is stonewalled there. No gain on the play, and what should be the last play there of the 3rd quarter. Roberts looked like he was trying to draw Dallas's defense off sides. Instead, it's Keegan Buchanan who is called for the false start. It's going to back them up 5, but also stop the clock, meaning that Arizona has to run another play before the conclusion of the 3rd quarter. And Roberts going to give it down short to Trey McBride. Oh, reliable. He has it down to the 47-yard line, and that will bring an end to the 3rd quarter with Dallas trailing Arizona 35-24. Dallas, though, a valiant effort, 14 points in that 3rd quarter after just 10 in the first half. But they're going to have to make a stop defensively if they want to see anything happen. Ty Davis-Price, no gain once again, stuffed. Now a 2nd and 10 and Davis-Price remaining in the ball game. See 2 receivers each side. Roberts going to air it out for Rondale Moore, who has his man beat Bland and has a gain of 27 yards down the left sideline, beating Bland on the corner route. And what a relief it's been having Rondale Moore back in the lineup. I know Amani Hunter did pretty good in relief, but nothing beats having one of your top guys out there. Rondale Moore really making a huge impact in this game as Antonio Gibson down after a gain of 4. Antonio Gibson with 2 straight carries now, this time going for 5 as they're a yard away from another first down, and time is not in Dallas's favor. Ty Davis-Price picking up the first down, but DeMarcus Lawrence down and grabbing at that leg. They're going to fortunately get the clock stoppage here, as here's Roberts throwing short. Has Rondale Moore once again. Has Rondale Moore once again across the middle. Now 2nd and 5. Davis-Price bobbing and weaving. Another 3rd and 1 and 4 yards away from another touchdown. But here on 3rd and 1, they're going to hand it off to Antonio Gibson, who once again picks up the first down. 1st and goal now from the 2. Handoff Davis-Price, and he is going to be stuffed. But he does pick up 1, so they're now just a yard away. It's a long one, though. Long one. Davis-Price, handoff, dives, end zone, touchdown, Arizona. And Dallas just not able to contend with the onslaught that is Arizona's offense. Whether you want to get beat through the air, on the ground, with Ty Davis-Price, with Antonio Gibson, Arizona extending the lead once again back to 3 possessions, and it's back to an 18-point ball game. Dallas now 5:40 to go here. Cannot afford to go slowly as he has Michael Gallup nearly splitting the defenders there. Down just shy of the first down. Dallas once again going to flip the play around. Trips look to the left on this 2nd and inches. Dak takes the shotgun pass, looking left side. Not going to find anyone there, into a sea of bodies. 3rd and inches. And once again, here's this formation that we've been bitten by so many times today, and it's not going to bite us this time. Andrew Stinson knocking the ball out of CeeDee Lamb's hands, the normally sure-handed Lamb. It'll be a 4th and inches here. Dak starting under center. Dak looking short for Conrad Gregg, and he has him. And Gregg continuing to just have these massive outbursts, breaking tackles seemingly every time he gets hold of the ball. But they're across midfield, and he's going to connect this time with Michael Gallup once again. Gallup, if he's not already nearing that 100-yard barrier, as here's Dak Prescott trying to air one out for Gregg, but unfortunately going to miss him. Air one out might have been the wrong term to use there. It was would have been a short completion if he didn't miss him. But now 2nd and 10 at the 36. Dak going short, has a man. It's Allen once again. And they're going to hurry things up. Surprised they didn't start doing this a little earlier. Arizona pressing up a little bit. Dak looking, trying to find CeeDee Lamb, who is laid out there. It's 4th and 6 now, and you got to think if Dallas doesn't convert here, that is ball game. Dak looking left side for Conrad Gregg, and Lewis Seen with perhaps the biggest play of the Arizona Cardinals season. It's been a resurgent year for the oft maligned 4th year safety, but this time around he comes up clutch, has been doing it all year, has another one in his arsenal, and that may very well be the play that sends the Cardinals to their 2nd straight Super Bowl. Now, time continuing to wind down, handoff to Ty Davis Price, and that should take us to the 2-minute warning. Now, one play out of the 2-minute warning. Fake play action. Roberts going to air it out. Has Rondale Moore down the sideline. Moore going to be hit by a swarm of Cowboys bodies down to the 16-yard line. And that is your ball game. Arizona going to line up there in victory formation. Not going to snap it. And Arizona now in their 2nd consecutive Super Bowl, again at the expense of Dallas. Well, last year it wasn't directly at their expense, but we did have to beat them to get there. This time, though, Dallas not able to put it all together. And one thing that was very apparent in this 42-24 win, the lack of usage of Tony Pollard. Now, granted, we did go up 21-0 early, so that took them out of, the running game. But man, when you have such a dynamic player in Tony Pollard, you have to find a way to get him some type of work, and they didn't this time around. Arizona nearly 500 yards of total offense, 30 first downs, did have the 1 turnover, as did they, 7 of 8 on 3rd down and 1 of 1 on 4th down. I mean, Dallas, quite frankly, never had a chance. That interception being the only time that we did not get into the end zone outside of the very last drive where we just let the clock wind down and went home with the win. Glenn Roberts, 22 of 28, 355, 2 touchdowns, did have the pick, but 78% completion percentage and over 300 yards now against a legitimate defense. Dak Prescott, 24 for 38, 314, 3 touchdowns and a pick, only had 19 yards a little more than halfway through the 2nd quarter. So the fact that he ended with over 300 is incredibly impressive. Ty Davis Price, 23 for 113 and 2 scores. Antonio Gibson going 6 for 26 and a touchdown. And Tony Pollard, just 3 carries, 19 yards. Glenn Roberts also finding the end zone with his legs as well. Rondale Moore taking the torch from Rashad Bateman after his big game last week, having a 10 for 174 and 1 touchdown performance. Michael Gallup, 9 for 107 and 2 scores. CeeDee Lamb, 6 for 102 and a singular score. And then Gregg and McBride, each with 3 catches for 72 yards. What are the odds of that, huh? Rashad Bateman, 5 catches, 62 yards and a touchdown. Not a whole lot of work after halftime, but enough either way. And Tony Pollard did get 3 catches, but not too much happening for him. Defensively, LVE leading the way with 12 tackles, 3 tackles for loss as well. Lewis Seen with 2 tackles for loss and a sack. BJ Ojulari getting in on the sack fest as well. Zaven Collins and Malik Hooker each getting an interception. BJ Ojulari with the forced fumble on the Dak sack, but we did not recover. Possession went back to Dallas. And now on to Pro Bowl week. And here we are going to go ahead and knock this out before the next video. We're going to make that one, just a one-off Super Bowl special. Didn't want to start it off in an awkward place at the Pro Bowl. But let's take a look at some weekly awards. Glenn Roberts getting the nod after his big game. Lewis Seen also getting in there with a sack. Juan Booth, 7 tackles and a sack. Mac Jones, 14 of 18, 141 and a touchdown, also finding the end zone with his legs, similarly to Glenn Roberts. And, offensive and defensive player of the week in the AFC. Got to assume that means the Patriots are headed to the Super Bowl, as we're going to go ahead and take a look now at the bracket. And it is not the Patriots, but instead the Raiders, who we will match up with in the Super Bowl this year. The Raiders, who were tied with the Lions and Giants as the worst record team in the league to make the playoffs, but they have now made it to the Super Bowl after a 20-17 victory. Low scoring game. New England had the lead after 1, but just couldn't hold on to it. Mac Jones, we already looked at what he did. Travis Garner, 188 and a touchdown, 72% completions, didn't turn the ball over. Josh Jacobs finding the end zone once again. We know about Mac Jones's rushing touchdown. Devontae going 9 for 84. Elijah Moore leading the way for the Patriots, 4 for 40. Thurston, no touchdown, breaking his streak for the postseason. And Juju, just 1 catch in their biggest game of the season. Not what you want to see. Defensively, it was Juan Booth leading the way with 7 tackles, a tackle for loss, also had a sack, as did rookie Jamal Coleman and Max Crosby. No interceptions to speak of, no fumbles to speak of, and no defensive points to speak of. And moving into this Pro Bowl roster, Dak Prescott, who we sent home. Tua, we sent home. And I'm going to go pretty slowly, so if you're interested to see who made the Pro Bowl, just want to go slow. Only going to really take a look at some of the non-obvious candidates. Juju being wide receiver 1. Treylon Burks getting the Pro Bowl nod at all. Conrad Gregg being tight end 1 is a surprise. Greg Dulcich making it in there from Denver. You see Tyler Biadasz for Dallas, Zach Martin for Dallas, and Terrence Steele for Dallas. DeMarcus Lawrence, just Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler. Sam Hubbard with the nod as well, 79 overall. Frankie Louvu getting the left outside linebacker 1 nod. Azeez Al-Shire getting in there. Jermaine Pratt. Pete Werner. Some of these names that are making this are not ones we would have expected. Malik Hooker and Xavier Moorhead, the rookie for the Rams, getting his first Pro Bowl nod. Good for him. Lamar Searcy, another rookie. Him for the Giants, though, getting the strong safety Pro Bowl nod. And it is time to advance to Super Bowl Sunday. We already know who we're going to be taking on. Just a matter of, dotting the T's or dotting the I's, crossing the T's. And it, of course, will be the Las Vegas Raiders. 9-8 to our 15-2, but can't count them out. This is the rare 4 seed, though, who actually hosted every single game that they played on their side of the bracket. Hosted the Bills in the 4-5 matchup and won. Hosted the Browns, who they were able to go against because the Patriots also upset the Jets, won that one. And then hosting the 7 seed, who beat the 2-seeded Jets and the 1-seeded Steelers, couldn't finish the job against the Raiders, which means one of these teams will be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Will it be Arizona? Will it be Las Vegas? Only one way to find out, and we'll get into all of that next week. One little interesting piece I did want to leave you with. Both Glenn Roberts and Travis Garner were selected in the first round of last year's NFL draft, meaning that the winner of this Super Bowl will certainly go to a quarterback who was not in the league when we started this franchise. Very interesting note. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. As always, be sure to like and subscribe should you feel so inclined. Until next time, we're ready for Super Bowl Sunday. Have a good one, and peace.